Good morning, folks. Linda Curry here, and today I want to share with you making gelatin products. So what we have here is a grass-fed gelatin. Now, keep in mind, for all of my plant-based friends, this is not a vegan product. For those of you that do enjoy animal protein, this is something for you to listen to. So many times we eat the muscle of animal protein, like the chicken breast and the beef tenderloin and what have you. What we're not eating a lot of times are the ligaments, the skin, the fat, the bone, and these are areas that have a lot of nutrition that we may be lacking, a lot of different amino acid profiles. And so when we think about making products like bone broth or taking collagen and now introducing gelatin, these are ways that we can get more of the different parts of the animal, the nutrition that we're not getting when we eat muscle. So gelatin is a great way to also nourish your digestive system. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they've cured their constipation issues by eating gummy bears, and I was always just didn't know why eating candy would help their issues. But then it occurred to me that it's the gelatin in these gummies that is helping their digestive tract. And we don't eat a lot of gelatin anymore. I know as a kid we used to make Jello squares and eat a lot of Jello actually. And so we were getting that kind of different nutrition profile from animal protein, as well as, eating things like liver. That was more popular back in the 70s and 80s than it is today. But we might be getting more into that as time goes on and people are more educated. So I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to make a gelatin product that is delicious and low in sugar. We're going to use frozen blueberries that I have thawed, and then maybe just a tablespoon of honey to sweeten this up so it's more like a treat. And a little bit of lemon juice and some water and our gelatin, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is turn on my stove here, and I will move my camera so you can. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is basically put all these ingredients minus the gelatin into my saucepan for starters. One thing I want to show you is that I use frozen organic blueberries, and so you definitely want to thaw them. I thawed these in the refrigerator, and I'm going to puree them using one of these devices. Very easy to do. Okay, so I have pureed this, and I'm going to release this. I pureed it a little bit longer than I might have normally if I was just making a blueberry sauce or something, because the blueberry skins, that'll be in the product that we're making. So I wanted to get that as creamy as possible. So in my saucepan, I am going to add a half a cup of water. Get this to start warming up here. And then we want a half a cup of the blueberry puree. So I will put that in there. And then we also want a tablespoon of lemon juice. Add a little bit of acid to this. And I am running out of my lemon juice. So let's see if we have enough here. And we do. If I didn't have enough, I was probably just going to add a touch of apple cider vinegar just to make sure we get the right acid profile in this product. And then a tablespoon of honey. And I've got this on about a medium heat right now. Maybe a little bit higher initially to get it going. Always remember the gelatin goes in last because it's going to want to clump together, and so we're going to use a whisk. Okay, I'm just going to use the spoon, get that honey mixed in. See if you can see this okay. Now you can substitute the blueberries, of course, for raspberries. I like to stick with the berries. Some fruits are going to have more water content than others. Some are going to be sweeter than others. And so you may need to adjust the honey content. I'll try to do another video on another gelatin product that I have really enjoyed, which is, it has coconut oil in it and cacao powder. And so it has this creamy, chocolatey consistency, and then some honey to sweeten that because cacao is quite bitter. And that is just delicious and very different than something like this. So I think we are all mixed in here. And what I'm going to show you next is adding this gelatin. And I'm going to whisk it in as we go. We're going to do 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to do 1 tablespoon at a time and just kind of sprinkle it in and whisk it, okay? So I'm going to show you my camera here. So we'll get a nice, even, level tablespoon here. Make sure you measure this accurately because with the gelatin, you want to make sure you get the right amount here so that it solidifies properly in the refrigerator. Otherwise, you're going to have more of a jello mess. And I'm going to use my chocolate molds with these gummies that I'm making. And so I want them to pop out nice and firm. And so very important that I'm measuring things properly. So as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of gelatin at a time to make sure I get it whisked in. And if you like your treats sweeter, if you're making these for kids, you may want to consider using some, in addition to a little bit of honey, you might want to consider adding some pure monk fruit extract. Then it's not too high in sugar, yet you're getting the sweetness. Okay, that was 1 tablespoon. We're going to do 2 more of these. And my product is warm. And I've turned the heat down to like a medium low. The chocolate treat that I told you about, gelatin treat, actually what I do, it's not quite as tedious as this. I actually make it in my Vitamix blender, and I add all the ingredients with some boiling water and just mix it up in the blender. And then what I do is I pour it into baking dish and let it solidify in the refrigerator before I cut it into squares. All right, we're on our 3rd tablespoon here of the gelatin. Some people actually use this gelatin powder in their smoothies just to get the nutrition and the amino acid profile. There's protein in it, so you can almost use it like a protein powder. But keep in mind that if you don't use some warm water, it's going to kind of clump, but maybe your high-speed blender will take care of that and you won't even notice it. All right, I'm going to turn my burner off. Everything seems to be mixed in very nicely. Okay, I'm going to pour this back into my measuring cup. And then I have some chocolate molds here that I'm going to use, some heart-shaped ones. These are silicone. This is a little firmer and they pop right out after they solidify. It's really easy to use. So what I'm gonna try to do here is pour it in. I actually have a special pourer when I'm making chocolate. I'm not gonna use that because I don't think you guys have it at home. So we're just gonna go ahead and fill these up. And also keep in mind, if you don't want to use these molds, that's perfectly fine. Just pour this whole thing into like a glass baking dish. Let it solidify in the refrigerator for a couple hours. I'm not sure exactly how long it takes. But once it's firm, then you can cut it into squares and enjoy it. And you can even freeze some of it if you make a large batch and just take a few out at a time. Okay, here you have it. I have them filled in my molds and I have a little bit left over, so I'm just going to put this into a small cup and put it in the refrigerator and just enjoy it like a thick jello later. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to throw this into the refrigerator and we'll be back when it's solidified. See you soon. Hi folks, I am back and these have chilled for a couple hours. And these silicone molds, they just pop right out. Cute little hearts. And you can just put them into a container, pop them into your refrigerator. They'll keep all week, or you can put them in the freezer and take some out every week to enjoy. So again, these are the blueberry ones. You can try making something like lemon, but you're either gonna need a lot more honey, or you can use the monk fruit extract that I mentioned earlier. And that'll be a nice little vitamin C boost for you, as well as the gelatin that's going to help with the your digestion. Okay, that's all for now. Take care.